Yeah, I would agree to that. All right, so we're moving on to our top four, and I already see something that I didn't expect to see on this list.
Oh
It might
no.
be more shocking than the Obito being at 10 spot.
Oh my god, I see it. No.
Eddie,
No.
Eddie, why do you have Kaguya as your number 4?
Kaguya's great.
You got some explaining to
Damn
do.
it.
Yeah, you
Shit.
Simp.
Sim.
Big pause.
ただ何度でもただ何度でもこの夢が叶うまでは迷わずに進んでくと決めたからあの人にあの人たちにこの声が届くまでは抱えずに呼び続けるの
Welcome back, everybody. This is your boy RTL Faith, and we are back with another episode of Kickback Anime Discussions, the chillest anime podcast on YouTube. In today's episode, what we're going to be doing is another Naruto video, and we're going to be discussing the best Naruto villains, what we think they are, and doing some rankings for you all here today. So, I got plenty of guests here with me as always, such as my man TeeBry. Introduce yourself.
Hello, mortals.
We also got Ko Hyuga. Go ahead, Ko.
Hey.
Zoid Anime Talks as well. Go ahead, Zoid.
Right, lab
And last but not least, our man Dono. First time talking about Naruto with us. Go ahead, Dono.
Yo, it's your boy.
All right, so we'll get this started. As you guys can see, there's 12 different Naruto villains we can choose from. These are probably the 12 best Naruto villains, antagonists. We didn't include Itachi and we didn't include Gaara mainly because they technically become good guys, so we just didn't want to put them here. So let us start off with everybody's 10th spot. Dono, I want you to start off. Who do you got for your number 10?
For my number 10, I'm gonna have to go with Kaguya for my number 10.
Okay, interesting. Explain a little bit.
Explain a little bit? Alright. Because we have some amazing names on here. We got things like, or people like Orochimaru, Pain, Madara Uchiha, Zabuza. Like, come on. Kaguya, she was okay. I felt like she was there mainly for plot development and to kind of explain the origins of the world that we have been so invested in. But she doesn't really play too big of a role in my eyes, but hey, everyone has an opinion.
Hey, keep in mind that there are 12. So
There are 12.
right. So you are leaving a couple out.
That's alright. I think she deserved a spot, but like, still kind of bad.
Honestly, I'm gonna put Kaguya number 10 as well, just cause like she's not a great villain. Her at the end of Naruto wasn't great, but she was the reason Boruto happened, and a lot of people love Boruto. So she deserves that credit, and big powerful jutsus and whatnot. So that's something else. So number 10, I'm not gonna really explain too farther than that, but yeah, she's my number 10 as well. All right, Zoid, what is your number 10?
Here for Danzo.
You said you put Donzo?
Yeah.
Oh, why do you want Donzo as a 10?
He's more... He's not really, like, interesting to me, to be honest.
Fair enough. What about you, Ko?
All I got to say, really. Exactly true.
Y'all can write them in too, by the way.
Probably Sasori.
Bro.
We got Sasuke.
You hurt my feelings.
Oh, I feel like TeeBry has his a lot higher. Why do you got Sasori as your number 10, Ko?
I mean, like, the stuff with him in his, like, past and him being, like, I guess, like, a doll, and, or, like, a puppet. I said a doll. a puppet and all that. That was interesting, and like his character arc did conclude after like he died, but I felt like we needed more from him. Like he was cool as a villain, but I felt like him allowing himself to die just felt so underwhelming to me. Like I wanted more from him is what I'm saying, but that doesn't make him like bad or anything. I don't know. I wanted more.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Sorcery. I can respect it. All right, so that leaves you as our last man. Who you got for your number 10, TeeBry?
I'm gonna throw you guys for a loop in a second here. Listen. Before I say anything, I just want to mention that I love all the characters on this. Maybe not Kaguya, but none of these characters are bad. In fact, most of these characters are probably my favorite than any other Naruto characters, like good guys and stuff, because I like the bad guys.
Fair.
That being said, I'm putting Obito in the 10th spot.
Really?
Really?
Really.
All right,
Really?
all right.
I don't know about that one.
Listen. Listen.
That's tough.
I don't know about that, T-Bro.
Listen.
Hot take right here. Okay.
Out of all of these characters, minus two of them that I'm not going to say, Obito was the least interesting to me. I know that he has like a huge story and he was pretty much involved in everything, but I just like, especially out of all the Uchiha, he wasn't one that I liked as much as everybody else. So I'm putting him in 10, and he was kind of a bitch in the end. Just saying.
Dang.
Damn. Okay.
I would
All right,
not.
all right.
That's a big one right at the very
That's
beginning.
real bold.
That's one heck of a loop, man.
That's what I'm saying. So make sure you put
People, you're gonna get
Sasori
lower
right
in the
above your name,
comments.
and then Dono, make sure you put your 10th spot in as well. But
Okay.
me and Dono are the only ones with the same picks, but we all have different tastes. So that's what I said. This one's gonna be a lot different from our arcs one. Okay. So let's move on to our number 9. This time, Zoid, you go first. Who is your number 9 spot?
Oh, well, I placed in the wrong area, but yeah.
Kaguya, number 9. Okay. Why do you think Kaguya is better than Danzo?
Okay, good think. I need to think first.
I'll let you think if you really need to think of that much. And we'll just go on to TeeBry. What do you got for your number 9?
Zabuza.
Interesting. Okay, why you guys Zabuza there?
I like Zabuza. I think he was cool, but I feel like he didn't have enough. He didn't have enough to compete with everybody else on this list in terms of like abilities and like interest. Like, I don't know. He was one of the most iconic villains. Obviously, it's like Naruto's first like major villain, but I feel like in terms of like how, like, I don't know, he was a one arc villain. You know, I mean, a lot of these villains are one arc villains, but I just feel like out of all of them, it's hard to say like why exactly he's this low. I definitely liked him more than Obito, but I feel like out of everyone that's above him, he just doesn't quite make it onto their level.
Fair enough. What about you, Dono? What do you got for your number 9?
Number 9. That's a hard decision. It's a very hard decision, honestly. I feel like Zoid and I are kind of flip-flopped because I think I'm going to put Danzo right above Kaguya.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, my dude. I mean, I feel like when it comes to Danzo, he was a pretty good villain. He definitely had some evil intentions, some ambitions, if you will, but I feel like there's so many other options on this list that kind of just overshadow him to the point of which he doesn't deserve to be very high, in my opinion.
Fair enough. He's definitely someone that you love to hate.
Mhm.
That's for sure. That's for sure. That's definitely Donzo's character to a T. What about you, Ko? What you got for your number 9?
Heat on.
Okay. Hedon made it. Made your top 10. I'll be honest. Hedon didn't make my top 10.
Yeah, Heat on to me just didn't really do anything for me, but I liked the aspect of him having like I like the idea of them having like a religious sort of thing to it. Like he was worshiping like a cult and all that. I thought it was kind of interesting with that, but I felt like he, in his fighting style, like with the scythe, that was pretty cool, but I felt like Hedon as a character was just kind of bland, but I wouldn't say he was like bad. I don't
I'm
know if
about to
I'd
throw hands.
honestly put him above Sasori now thinking more about it, but I don't know. Hedon, I would still say he's like better than someone like Kaguya or like not even Danzo, but like just mainly Kaguya, and that's probably why I would put him there more than anything. Because I don't want to put Kaguya on my list. Like, she doesn't deserve a list.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. She's not on my list either.
I mean, that's fair.
I can't.
I'm gonna put her
That
name
low.
right below here.
Smash it.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't blame you at all. But you had Hedon above Sasori. You said you didn't want to do that?
I may actually swap that.
You can swap it.
Can I do that?
Yeah, you can swap it. It's your
Okay,
list.
yeah.
And I'm sure TeeBry's happy Sasori got another bump up.
Those are like my 2 favorite Akatsuki members right there. That he just
Hedon
put on the bottom of his
Sasori.
list. Yeah.
Really? Oh my goodness, because Hedon did not make my list. So,
Actually, that's not true. Now that I think about it.
yeah, there's definitely one that's definitely higher.
Everyone's
I
top
may
pick.
actually- Faith, I'm not going to lie with you. I may actually just have to get rid of Hedon altogether.
But who are you going to put your 10th spot if you're going to take out Hedon?
Kakazu.
Bro,
Really? Above Hedon?
I'm walking out.
I had to.
Even though,
Kaku's
like...
really, man.
Yeah, even though I didn't have either of them make my top 10, I don't know if I would say Kakuzu's better than Hedon.
You don't know.
I would. It's
I
more
feel like-
likely.
Dono, alright.
I feel like he was.
I'll
I feel
see
like
myself out,
Kakuzu
I'm
was
sorry.
overshadowed by Hedon in that arc.
I see what you did there, Dono. But yeah, I would agree. Hedon has an interesting personality at the very least. And his
Yeah.
abilities are very unique to Naruto. Like, very unique. Oh, interesting.
True.
That's fair. For my number 9 spot, after really debating it in my head, who am I going to put as a number 9 spot? I'm sure one of these people is going to be very upset, but I'm going to have to put Sasori number 9.
Okay.
You can feel the rage.
I can feel the rage. I do literally like Sasori as a character, but when I'm thinking about like villains and antagonists, I think there's 8 more that just fill that role just better.
True.
Sasori is interesting, and his entire like dynamic and backstory is interesting. How he kind of became who he is. I actually am not a fan of puppet, jutsus and whatnot, but I like how he used it and his, what he did. But his
I'm never coming back here.
his entire story just didn't really hit that hard. He beat Kankuro and then lost to Granny Chio and sorry.
We lost Zoid, by the way.
That man is sleepy. Hey, yeah, that's fair because he's from the UK. Yeah, Zoid will pop back in when he's ready, I'm sure. But yeah, Sasori is my number 9 spot. So, yeah. We'll see. Hey, I can make changes depending on like what happens later on. I'm sure some people are gonna say some great things about Sasori later on. So, let's move on to number 8. Ko. No, I'll go first this time since I revealed my number 9 last. My number 8 spot, I actually didn't even think about who this would be. But I'm going to put Zabuza here. I'm going to put Zabuza as my number 8 spot. Great antagonist for the first, like, major arc in Naruto, technically. He was a good villain for Naruto, as Naruto really experienced the ninja world firsthand. And I like how he actually developed a little bit as an antagonist in that arc itself. He was ruthless. He was par with Kakashi. Kakashi actually struggled with him. So Zabuza, good villain. Good character development for Naruto. And yeah, number 8 is where I'm putting you. So what about you, Ko? Who you got for your number 8?
I got Datara.
Okay. Well, you gotta explain a little bit, my guy.
I like Datara's personality. He probably, to me, has the most personality in terms of the Akatsuki, but, like, he just has that really fun, like, personality about him that's, like, just explosive, and he almost, I don't know. I just feel like it's really just his personality for me. Like, I wouldn't say him as a villain is really, like, interesting to me, or, like, him as a character, but, like, his fighting style and techniques are really unique, and his personality, definitely, for me at least.
That's fair. I mean, art is an explosion after all, so I do see what you're saying.
Wrong.
Oh, wrong?
Art is eternal.
Art is eternal. Okay. All right, so TeeBry, what do you got for your number 8?
Also Datara.
Fair enough.
The heck?
Anything you
All
want
right,
to add?
if we're gonna jump on the train, I might as well. That's who I was gonna put for mine as well.
Oh, all right. A
Out
lot
here
of
reading people's minds.
similarities for number 8 for Data. I mean, we might as well just go out and talk about Data. I think Data is my number 7 anyway, so might as well just finish talking about Data right here at this point. Yeah, I think actually, like, T-Bry, Dono, you guys have anything to say about Data?
I like Datara as a character, but in terms of his teammates, I feel like he was overshadowed, at least in my opinion. And also I feel like he lacks a good motive, Like, he's just kind of there.
He's just kind of vibing.
Exactly.
He's there, and he hates Itachi because he hates the Uchiha, I guess, because they just kind of show him up at every opportunity. Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that I don't really like about him. I like his personality and everything like that. But in terms of, like, he wasn't, like, very intimidating, I feel like, for a villain.
Yeah,
I
100%.
don't think he was meant to be intimidating, though.
Yeah, it's kind of...
I mean, yeah.
He's one of those characters that's kind of, like, misleading. Like, he's not intimidating, but he's very dangerous. Like, you don't want to fight this dude one-on-one.
I found that he was almost like the comic relief for the Akatsuki, besides Toby in the beginning. But then again, he was involved in all those gags too, so he's definitely on the lower end of the Akatsuki for me in terms of how cool they are.
Fair enough. And then, Zoid, you have Data at number 8 as well?
Just join the cult, man.
Everybody got the Data as number 8, it seems like. That's what's up. That's what's up. It's Data. I mean, Eddie.
What are we talking?
Hey, what's up, Eddie? What we're talking about, what we're doing here, we're doing a Kickback Anime Discussions episode right now. What we're doing is we're talking about the Naruto villains and going through that at the moment.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie, if you want to be a part of it, just send me your Gmail. I add you to the Google Sheets, and you can make your list real quick if you got a Gmail.
Shoot. Bet.
All right, just send that to me. I'll add you, and we'll keep it rolling for now. But, yeah, Datara, great villain overall, in the sense that his personality is interesting. I mean, you guys all said that. And I just think that compared to, like, Zabuza and Sasori, that just his character alone just has me, like, more interested in him as an antagonist. Like, he's one of those antagonists that is not necessarily, like, ruthless in, like, has that evil, like, conniving personality, but his personality is so single-minded in that he thinks art is an explosion, that he's probably the most dangerous at a lot of times because he doesn't have a goal. He just does what he wants, and that's a problem. And he pushed Sasuke to almost death. He pretty much beat Gaara. So this dude, he deserves some clout for that. So that's why I have him on number 7. And Dono, you want to say any last things about Deidara?
I mean, y'all pretty much covered everything. This guy is he's sort of a troubled artist, if you will. And because of that, I feel like he's better than Kaguya. Like, he provided more, at least, entertainment, if you will. Same with Danzo. So yeah, that's why he's above. And just doesn't really deserve to be higher.
Fair enough. All right, so let's move on to our number 7. Eddie, you are added to the Google Sheet, so join anytime you like, and then make your list from 10 to 7 or 10 to 8 when you're ready. Zoid, you already filled out your 7th spot, so why do you have Kabuto as your number 7?
Well, I didn't get any drama. He just as me because it's basically the same as the snake dude.
The snake dude. Orochimaru.
The snake dude.
I feel that. Yeah, there's a lot of similarity.
Same power, same everything, same face.
Yeah, I could feel that. For
Did
sure.
play a portion role during the war arc, but you didn't see it after, when the reincarnation thing ends.
Yeah, I feel that.
And
Yeah, Kabuto is definitely a character that, kind of copied Orochimaru, but he kind of did it in his own way, so I'm sure a lot of people are...
he was good in part 1, Naruto, but then later on it was pretty shit.
Damn, at least, well, he said he's better than Deidara, so we'll make him better than Deidara and Danzo.
Deidara did put a good fight against Sasuke, but he just...
Gotcha, fair. What about you, Ko? What is your number 7?
Shoot. Probably, I'm trying to think. What have I not put on there yet? Probably Madara. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that would have been saucy. That would have been the sauciest one. That would have been worse than TeeBry putting Obito number 10, hands down.
Stop, nah. I'm probably gonna say probably Kabuto, I guess. I don't know, because I can't really think of anybody else who's above or below him at this point. So yeah, probably Kabuto, honestly.
Fair enough. What about you, TeeBry?
Danzo.
Okay. Hey guys, explain yourself.
I actually like Danzo. I think a lot more than most people do. And the reason I think he's just really, really well written. I know that a lot of people hate him because of the things that he did in character, but the reason I like him so much is because he's not actually a villain. He's almost an anti-hero in a way. He does things for the sake of the village he's like a ruthless protector of the Leaf Village, and he will go to extreme lengths to protect his village and his country, which I think is really, really honorable despite all the shitty things that he did, obviously the getting the whole Uchiha clan killed. But everything that he does under the intentions of protecting the Leaf Village. And I think that him and the whole Root Foundation thing and everything, I think that's a really cool concept and stuff. So he's kind of the Shadow Hokage for Hiruzen, which I think is really cool. So that's why he's higher up on my list than some of the others that were below.
Okay. It seems like you, Zoid have said, and Dono have said Donzo so far. Okay. What about you, Dono? What's your number 7?
I'm gonna have to go. I'm just gonna get the Akatsuki out of the way because I love the Akatsuki, but they aren't the highest up on my list. So I'm gonna say Kakuzu is going to be my number. Which one is this? 8?
7.
No, I can't count. 7.
Kakuzu. Interesting. I'm curious who you left out now.
Oh, you are? Oh, well, you'll see, and you'll be. I think you'll be interested why and of my reasoning as well.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Kakuzu's probably the highest. You probably have Kakuzu the highest out of everyone, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. He's not on my list.
Okay.
He's down here.
Okay. What about you, Ko? Is Kakuzu? No, he's Ko's number. Kakuzu has 10 for Ko. And Zoid, are you asleep yet, or do you have Kakuzu on your list?
Oh wait, what?
Do you have
number
Kakuzu
6.
on your list?
Not to put that, I think.
Yeah, so it seems like Dono, you definitely have Kakuzu the highest. So why do you got Kakuzu so high now? I'm interested.
I feel like he's sort of underrated. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No,
he has a cool ability. He's a cool character in my opinion. I mean, I like the whole Datara's clay bombs and the whole artwork kind of theme is cool. But I don't know. I think we should give Kakuzu a little bit of love because he has a bit of a cooler kind of aesthetic, if you will.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Like, a lot of the Akatsuki members have very unique abilities. Kakuzu I wouldn't say is as unique as Hidan with his ability itself, but how he kind of uses his abilities is so strange. It kind of reminds me a little bit like I don't know how you even like come up with that type of ability. Like, how do you know you could just do that? For Hidan, you're part of the religion. That's how you know. Deidara, he has mouths in his hands. I'm sure he'll figure it out. Kakuzu, how do you figure out, with all the hearts and being able to do all that crazy stuff? I'm kind of curious how he came about that type of knowledge.
I'm assuming he just read it somewhere.
Just some random book he finds on the ground. Just like,
You visit the Waterfall Village's library.
Oh, interesting.
It's in the kids section.
Yeah.
It's in the kids section. Oh, man. Oh, Zoid has Kakuzu higher than even you, Dono. He actually has him number 6.
Oh, yes. It's because he's a man of culture as well.
Kakuzu getting
Actually,
some
never
love.
skipped the arc.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he skipped the arc.
Oh, yeah, you did say that. So I don't know how you Kakuzu so high. Oh, that's crazy. Eddie, I know you're catching
Did have a
up.
cool ability, but I skipped
Yeah.
anything about it.
So we're at least 7. So what is your 10 through 7? Just run by that real quick.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
I'm not even 2-7, but I got my 10 and 9, which is Kakuzu at 10 and Deidara at 9.
Okay.
Mainly because I only put Deidara over him because his entrance at the start of Shippuden was kind of nice for me. Because you see Gaara, who's this really powerful guy, obviously, that we know from original Naruto, and Deidara just comes in, puts up a great fight. And it's just that first impression that got him for me. And that's really it.
Fair enough. What about your 8 and 7? What are you gonna put for there?
Can you come back to me? I know it's late. My bad.
No, you're good. We'll move on to your number 6 while you kind of figure that list out.
All right.
So, running to number 6, so it has Kakuzu number 6. Very interesting. Kakuzu getting some love. I'm very surprised. Dono, what do you have for your number 6?
For my number 6, that's interesting. Like I said, we're doing the Akatsuki a little lower than some of the other people because I feel they deserve a little more. But Hidan is going to be my number 6.
Okay.
Cool ability, cool concept,
He's gonna-
and Shikamaru completely handed his ass to him. So
Very true, very true. One of the best moments for Shikamaru is wrecking Hidan's.
I wonder if he's still alive, just buried somewhere.
Wasn't it confirmed in like some like Naruto, like data book or something?
It's in the data book that he can die from malnutrition, but it's a very touchy subject of debate in the Naruto community, I found. Whether or not he's actually dead, or he's been eating worms or some shit.
I mean, if I was just ahead, I mean, what is he gonna, like, nurture? He doesn't have a stomach.
See, when I, yeah, that's, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. But when I first watched that arc, like a long ass time ago, right?
Yeah.
I, like, without knowing the background information, it seems like I would automatically assume that the reason that they buried him the way and killed him the way that they did was because he wouldn't die, so they had to like lock him away in that hole forever, right?
Yeah.
That was my assumption when watching it, but then like I don't know, there's like all these other factors that people want to bring in, but like I feel like the original intention was they had to bury him because there was no other way to stop him.
That's fair. I mean, it's a smart strategy. You don't know how to kill him? Well, we'll just cut him up in pieces and lock him away.
Yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough. Alright, so speaking of Hidan and TeeBry, what do you got your number 6?
Hidan.
See, I read the future. I see.
Join the cult.
Yeah, Hidan's one of my favorite Akatsuki members. I really like his personality. I think that Datara may have been around longer. Like, he may have had more screen time because of the war arc and stuff, and Hidan was never brought back, which is another reason why I think that he is possibly alive. But I think that Hidan's personality was possibly more interesting than Datara's personality. Like, he was more they were both kind of loudmouthed and like cocky, but I kind of enjoyed the way Hidan was about it over Datara. Also, like you said, his abilities are, or whoever said that, his abilities are super interesting and very good concept and stuff like that. So I like the fact that he's just an immortal dude and there's so much mystery behind that. Like, we literally know nothing about that. So
Yeah, just like, by the way, my religion allows me to never die.
yeah, his religion. Who they even went and they did research on like, I forgot who it was. I think it was Kakashi. They were like they tried to figure out like if there was any other cult members to like find his weakness,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't find any other members. So their assumption was that he made it up. So my assumption is that it's a Kekkei Genkai, and he doesn't know how it works. So he just thought it was a cult, and he's insane.
I always
That's interesting.
assumed that it was a religion and he just killed all the other members. That's what I always
Well, he killed his village, but they there was no traces of them ever doing any sort of worship or anything.
What happened?
Hello,
Is that Delix?
Delix. Yeah.
Oh, it's your stepfather you never met.
Oh,
Damn.
That would be weird.
I'm here to say you disappointed me.
What are you doing, Stan?
Delix, I will add you, and then you already added to the Google Sheet, so show up and do your 10 to 6 when you're ready. But yeah, we'll keep it rolling while you do all that. Number 6, I'll do my number 6 now, and I think I'm riding with what Eddie's going on, and I'm going to have Kabuto as my number 6. Kabuto, yeah, like people have been saying, I think Zoid said,
I don't see the thing.
the Google Sheets is connected to your Gmail. I already added you.
Oh, it's Gmail. Oh, okay. Okay, that changes everything.
Yeah, so like I said, Kabuto is very similar to Orochimaru. We already, talked about that. And beginning Kabuto was interesting. There's a lot of like mystery behind him, being part of the Anbu, being kind of sneaky, the part of the tuning exams being Orochimaru's agent, and even all this stuff with being a double agent between Sasori and Orochimaru makes them very interesting. I did appreciate like it was kind of necessary to make like a successful war arc, or as successful as you can get against like an entire Shinobi alliance. So Kabuto was huge in helping Obito kind of fulfill his plan. But yeah, overall, I think he played a huge part, and I did like him in beginning Naruto. Oh, so I think, at the very least, I'm gonna put him number 6. We kind of considering his importance.
Part 1 Kabuto is much better.
Yeah,
I agree.
fair enough.
I kind of felt like he ruined his character, but that's just my opinion.
Fair enough. Well, once you make your list, we'll definitely.
I'm trying to find
opinions.
I'm trying to find your thing. It's gone out of my account. I didn't delete it, but it's just not. What's your email?
It's Lewis, Lewis,
Low.
Lew,
Oh.
is, Kavika @gmail.com. Kavika. All right. Kohyuga, what is your number 6?
Yeah, who do we got? We have... I'm gonna say... probably Donzo.
Okay. Donzo getting some love above some Akatsuki members. Why you got Donzo number 6?
Well, like TeeBry pointed out, he's actually really well written, and he's, you're meant to hate him, but I don't think that's the main reason why I think he's a good villain. Like, yeah, you can hate him, but like TeeBry pointed out, he's like a chaotic, almost neutral, or like, he is willing to do whatever it takes to protect the village. Even though he did have to do like a lot of backstabbing, a lot of evil things to, accomplish that, I still felt like he, at the end of the day, was still like a really good villain, in my opinion, at least. But yeah,
Donzo was the balls that Hiruzen never had.
Well, that's why he gave permission for Donzo to do the Leaf Village's dirty work, because he couldn't do it.
Right.
If I remember, that's what the story said.
Yeah, that's correct. That's how the route was made.
Eddie, it seems like you already caught up all the way to your 6, so why don't you quickly explain why you have your 8 through 6 where you have them?
Alright, so I'm a simple man that likes flexes. I'm kind of a memer, but this is half serious, half meme, kind of. So, Sasori's at number 8 because of the massive flex when you think, oh, this is just an ugly-ass dude with some puppets. Oh, no, turns out it's actually a beautiful-ass dude with some puppets. And he talks to really well, too.
That's funny. Yeah, okay, fair.
Wait again, he himself is a puppet.
And Sakura was just straight up jealous, so... And then Hidan also has a massive flex with practically being immortal, and his weird relationship with Kazuku, or Kakazu, what the hell. Even though they practically, try and murder each other, but yeah. And then Kabuto, just straight up, the whole, not only in Shippuden, but I do like him more in OG Naruto. So whenever I think about Kabuto, I just think about the tuning exam. And kind of side off here, I always wonder, what if Kabuto stood in the tuning exam?
You said
what?
One more time?
I just always question, like, what if Kabuto actually stayed in the tuning exams? But, didn't happen. But he was great.
In theory, he probably would have beat them all.
Yeah.
Would he beat Lee?
He was stated to be Kakashi's level at the time
that's
of the
what I
tuning
heard.
exams, which is ridiculous.
I'm not sure if he was near Kakashi level, but he was definitely, like, up there.
I mean, considering that version of Kakashi, then yeah. Well,
yeah.
Would he beat Gaara? I don't know if he would beat Gaara, because I don't think Kakashi would beat Gaara. So, other than the Gaara, then yeah. It seems like he's the second strongest there.
Gaara might be a little bit tricky.
Gaara would be kind of tough, yeah.
He definitely would push Gaara to to turning into tailed beast mode, at least.
Yeah, that's what it definitely seems like. Interesting. That would be interesting to see him fight someone actually like strong, like Neji, Lise,
Yeah.
Sasuke after he mastered Chidori, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, fair enough. So Delix, now that you have got your 10 through 6, quickly explain why you put everybody where you put them.
Danzo sucks. Hidan was fun. Kabuto had a lot of potential from part 1. Kakazu was
Come on,
wasted as
bro.
hell. Sasori was very interesting. He deserved at least 1 or 2 more fights before he died.
Nice and quick. Hey, I respect it.
Sasori, I get why he had to be killed off in the first arc because there just had to be somewhat of a death. I mean, I feel like it just had to happen regardless, but I feel like he should have been in the story a bit longer. His backstory was sad as hell, but he deserved at least another fight or 2. Kakazu, man, he got one-shotted big time. He deserved to be in the series a bit longer. I would have loved to see him fight Jiraiya if it would have been cool to see him fight Jiraiya, but yeah. He was cool, but I don't really think Kishimoto really gave him character too much. Kakazu was just cool. It was just a cool fighter.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, same. All right, so
I'm caught up.
seems like everybody's caught up. We're in the big top 5. This is the 5 best villains, and it seems like a few of them are kind of guarantees, but it seems like we got a few different.
I can see 3 of them that are definitely everyone's top 3.
Yeah, I can kind of see 3 as well, but I would have say 4, but someone has.
Yeah, maybe 4 actually.
I would have said 4.
I just used my whole order of the top 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go on to our top 5. We'll start off with Dono. Dono, what's your 5th spot? Are you okay, Dono?
Oh, sorry. I think everything cut out for a second. Like I just heard nothing. Is it me?
Yeah. What's your 5th spot?
Oh. All right. So, hear me out. Zabuza is going to be my number 5.
Okay.
Oh.
Because he is a fantastic villain. I mean, we've kind of already said all the reasons why he deserves to be up there, but just for my personal preference, I feel like he's a little better than some of the Akatsuki members we've already listed, so he's in my number 5 spot.
Okay.
I'm not mad at that. That's fair.
I'm not mad on it.
He's a great villain.
Yeah.
Perfect introduction villain, actually, to a series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you think about a
That's
lot
amazing.
of series, the main antagonist for the first series, so we got Bleach. I would say it's Byakuya. It's the first main antagonist.
Yeah.
And then Naruto would be Zabuza, very good. If you're caught up with One Piece would be Arlong probably. Yeah, definitely. So you gotta have a good starting villain to kind of really start off really well. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So we got 5 Zabuza for Dono. It seems Eddie, Ko, and Zoid all have Obito as their 5th spot.
Indeed.
All right. So I think Zoid fell asleep or left, but Eddie, why do you have Obito as your 5th spot?
So Obito, for me, out of everything that really, happened with him, it's just the whole backstory, how it's all tied with Kakashi and whatnot. When it all really comes together, just as a story person, I love it. And his whole character arc until the very end when he realizes what the hell have I been doing, and I just loved it. It came full circle.
Yeah, I agree. I think his entire story definitely came full circle. What about you, Ko? Got anything to add?
Yeah, pretty much what he said. I mean, I really do like his backstory. I like how it ties together a lot of stuff, and I just really I know everybody memes the whole thing about, oh, you let Rin die, that's supposed to be his reason, but I think there's a lot more deeper weight to it than just Rin dying. You know what I mean? But I just felt like Obito in general was a really complex character, and I really did enjoy him, at least. Especially mainly the backstory portions of him, because those were like, to me, he had one of the most interesting like backstories in the entirety of the whole show, to me at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for the Naruto backstory one, I think Nagato's backstory was rated #1, if I remember properly.
Mm-hmm.
But we gave a good shout to Kakashi and Obito's backstory as well. So,
I do really like his backstory, Obito. Yeah.
alright, so Delix, what is your 5th spot?
Zabuza.
Okay, we got another Zabuza shout. You got anything to add from what Dono said?
I think it's just, I really just like how he went out, like just killing all those guys with just one kunai in his mouth, and he just started killing them off, and then started, then literally killed Gado, like in the manga. He sliced his head up in the anime. He like tortured him, like cut him open a few times, and then he sliced his neck. I just love how he went out, but I love how he found But I like how at the very end he realized like he was wrong, like he just viewed Haku as a weapon but not as a person, and the way that he just admitted that he, like he considers himself as a demon, but he realizes that, as a shinobi, you can't escape feelings no matter what. That's something that he realized, and because of that, Naruto grew up, and Kakashi respected Zabuza at the end. I kind of feel like Zabuza like changed all their characters because of how he went out, and I feel like that's why he deserves to be where he's at.
Yeah, I feel that for sure.
They all learned something.
Zabuza definitely getting a shout for the list. I feel like all of us kind of had Zabuza for the most part at different locations, so he's definitely a good villain for sure. I'm gonna go next. My number 5 spot, I'm gonna put Danzo. Danzo. I hate Danzo, the passion.
Who does? Who doesn't?
But Danzo,
I don't.
I think for a villain for the series, I think Danzo, well, like you said kind of anti-hero, kind of, and certain things. But as an antagonist, at the very least, he was a very good antagonist for the story. It's a very good look at the story in general, how, there's the good side of the Leaf Village, where Horizon kind of looks after it, and then the dark side, where Danzo kind of, is in charge of. And that doesn't make him a good person or anything, because he does a lot of shady stuff, which is, causes some issues. And then he eventually becomes Hokage. His dream to become Hokage actually happens. He becomes Hokage, and then he gets whooped by Sasuke. So, like...
It's like substitute Hokage.
Yeah, so that wasn't it. But we also saw his arm with all the Uchiha eyes. Like, this dude is not a good person at all, because that's all a lot of... He also works with Orochimaru. And so, like, Danzo's not a good person, but he's meant not to be a good person. He has his ideals. He's very strong for his ideals, and that's what makes him a good antagonist. So, yeah, that's why I think he's better than the ones below, and at the very least deserves to be in the top 5.
I kind of feel like they should have made him one of the Kage. Like, they should have, like, named him, what is it, the 6th? Yeah, they should have named him the 6th, and then Kakashi the 7th. And Naruto 8th.
I think it's just because he wasn't Kage for long enough, right? So...
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like if he was Kage after the, Kage Summit and even longer, then he would be, like, 6 for real. But he was killed, like, pretty early, like, right when he became Kage, basically.
Yeah, I just think it would have been interesting to have one of the Kages in history had been a villain. I think that would have been cool.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, number 5 slot, TeeBry, what is it?
Oh, what'd y'all put?
We got a lot of
Zabuza and Discount Madara, huh? All right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Kabuto.
Kabuto. Discount Orochimaru. Okay.
True, but hear me out.
Wow.
All right.
Listen.
Yeah, what's up?
I think Kabuto is low-key super underrated when it comes to his whole character arc. His whole thing was that he was obsessed with Orochimaru. Like, he didn't have, because Orochimaru found him, right? He didn't have an identity of his own, which is why he had this whole, like, kind of identity crisis thing. And I think that's super interesting that he was so obsessed with becoming with Orochimaru that he basically did become Orochimaru in the end. I actually, unlike a lot of people said, I actually enjoyed him more in Shippuden in the war arc than I did in part 1, because in part 1 to me he just kind of seemed like a sniveling little worm guy.
Fair.
Like, you know, the classic
Yeah.
push your glasses up your face and they shine
Yeah.
type of character.
Yeah.
But in the war arc, I feel like he just kind of like grew some balls, and he went to Obito, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna give you these guys, and I'm gonna run this shit." And Obito's like, and why do I have to like work with you or whatever? And then he like he pulls Madara out of the ground, and Obito's like, "Oh shit." Kabuto basically just like played Obito. Everyone played Obito actually in that story, but Kabuto, I feel like Kabuto just really evolved into like his own character in the war arc, and I really respected his grind to become the next Orochimaru. I thought it was like he did a good job at becoming one of the strongest villains in the series. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
props to him.
It would have been interesting to see at least a little bit of Obito versus Kabuto when they first met, because like
Yeah, I would have liked to see Kabuto, like war arc Kabuto, in like more battles, like other than just being like plotting and summoning reincarnations. It would have been cool to actually see like because he, unlike Orochimaru, who didn't have the good enough chakra reserve, he actually got Sage Mode, which Orochimaru could never achieve. So Kabuto surpassed Orochimaru.
oh
It
yeah,
was because of his body. It wasn't because of his chakra.
yeah, but
Yeah. He didn't have what he needed to become a sage. So Kabuto did it,
Mhm.
and then also Kabuto perfected the reincarnation, which Orochimaru was unable to do. So I just think it's really respectable that Kabuto was able to take what Orochimaru started and push it even farther beyond, which is why he's in my top 5.
yeah, that's
But
fair.
ironically, Orochimaru already got all those memories that he spent learning.
Yeah,
So it's kind of all in vain when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean it is what it is, but he did did make the war arc more interesting with all his reanimations, and he was strong enough to fight Sasuke with EMS and Itachi. Like,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Not to mention, I didn't expect Kabuto to come back as a major villain. I don't think anyone did after Orochimaru's defeat. Like Kabuto was kind of like his
I
side
thought he was
bitch.
just going to like
And
dip
then
or something.
Suddenly out of nowhere, they're like in the woods and they come across Kabuto and he has like Orochimaru's eye or whatever. And then everyone was like, holy shit, he's back and this guy's going to be important, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I would agree to that. All right, so we're moving on to our top 4, and I already see something that I didn't expect to see on this list.
Oh,
it
no.
might be more shocking than the Obito being at 10 spot.
Oh my god, I see it. No.
Eddie,
No.
Eddie, why do you have Kaguya as your number 4?
Kaguya is great.
You got some explaining to
Damn
do.
it.
Yeah, you
Okay.
got
Simp.
Big
Sim.
pause.
Just hear me out.
All right.
Not necessarily as a character, because definitely not a great character, in my opinion. It's just the whole power thing. Because straight up, we've seen powerful villains in Naruto before, and then we see Kaguya, who is pretty much like a goddess, and, you know, like, first chakra user and whatnot. And just me, when I first watched it, I was like, well, definitely not my favorite villain, but I don't know. I just found that they did what a villain needs to do right, which is pretty much just be, how do I say this, a really big threat to the main character. I don't know. Now that you guys are making me regret my choice, damn it.
Good.
You should have
Wrong.
Sorry, but Kaguya, she's not good, man.
I don't know. It's biased. How about that?
You've been watching some Kaguya hentai, haven't you?
Yes,
Oh, hell
probably.
yeah, all the time.
bro. I
I
saw.
declined to answer.
I saw a picture on Twitter where Naruto and Sasuke were about to do the hand thing with Kaguya, and instead of like touching her regularly, they touch somewhere
Oh,
else.
God.
chill.
Hey,
Keep it
wait,
professional.
not for me, but for like a friend, do you have that picture?
So yes, source.
links.
Honestly, I don't think I retweeted
We're
or
saying
liked the
this on the
photo. So,
podcast.
God damn it!
hey, it is what
Well,
it is.
chill.
I'm sure you could just find it on Twitter somewhere. You know, eventually someone will retweet it, guaranteed. Eventually. But yeah, it's hot take. Kaguya number 4, probably the most shocking one.
A big hot take, like
Very
an
hot
extreme
take.
one. Like, I'm kind of disappointed in you.
Well, I'm disappointed that Obito is number 10 for TeeBry, but you know, we can't always have good things out here. So let's move on to our number 4s. Ko, you actually did yours. So yours is Zabuza. It's above Obito and
Yeah.
Danzo and Kabuto, which is like some of their top ones here. So why do you put those Zabuza number 4?
I mean, like, I don't know what else I really can say beyond what we've already pretty much like discussed about his character, but yeah, he's just a really great introduction villain, and like Delix pointed out, I liked how he ultimately did like realize like his almost like philosophy was like wrong, and that he did care for Haku in the end, and then, you know, he went out like a badass. I mean, like, I feel like a lot of the other villains on this list, you can't really say like went out really cool like that or like epic like that. I mean, granted, not every villain's gonna, you know, go out really good or anything
I mean,
like that,
Deidara
but, like,
exploded himself.
but I felt like Zabuza, of all the villains on here on my list, I felt like he really went out like a badass, and I feel like he was, honestly, I think he was just a perfect villain. I don't think I really had an issue with him. But yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, he's very well rounded for the most part. So Dono, you
Am I allowed?
What? Who said that?
Am I allowed to change my number 4 to Zabuza? I totally didn't realize that he was not on my list.
It is your list, dude. Do what you feel, my God. Do what you feel. All right.
Wait, does that mean you're gonna move Kaguya higher?
Nope.
Oh man.
Peer pressure has gotten to me, damn it.
Good.
Kaguya is out.
Kaguya
Thank
went
you.
from number
Welcome
4
to the light.
Gosh.
to out of the list.
Now there's
Oh my
Trey.
god, you scared the shit out of me. Jesus.
This is his setup. Look at Trey's setup.
Mom, Dad, stop fighting.
Look at his setup. Dono, you have Kabuto as your number 4. So
Yes, Kabuto, like, I feel like it was said earlier, he's a bit underrated. He's always been one of my favorites, just because it's like,
Big facts.
he's a massive, like, mystery, you know, kind of that wild card. And that's especially present in Shippuden because, like, again, it was said earlier, he kind of just came out of the woodwork and it's like, oh crap, this person who we all just thought was kind of a, you know, sidekick, a buddy in Incredibles, you know, becomes Syndrome sort of a thing, you know? So that's why he's so highly ranked. And not only that, he's a trained son of the medical corps head, so he's got that medical ninja knowledge. He's just phenomenal villain.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think Kabuto is definitely getting a lot of love, which is definitely deserved of it. So, Delix, what do you got for your number 4?
Orochimaru.
Really? I think
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting because I assumed Orochimaru was going to make top 3 everybody's list, but
Okay.
Ooh.
Look. This is something that well, Ko Hyuga brought up to me, and I thought about a lot of it. I do believe that Orochimaru had a different approach that none other villain ever had before, and he's the one that brought this up to me, and I agree. And I really love Orochimaru. He's such a badass. He was the only villain that really made the cast like shit their pants at the very beginning. Like they were so scared of him. His abilities, the way that he's able to switch the body, the way that he keeps experimenting on people to find the secrets of life or whatever. The way that he brought the Hokage back to life. This guy was like on a different level, and that's something that can never be taken away from Orochimaru. But like as time went on, I don't know. Like I started thinking about other things, and I just, as a respect, he definitely needs to be in the top 4. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna put him. But no other villain, I don't think he's ever been able to reach what Orochimaru first brought to the show at the very beginning. He's a classic villain.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I definitely have a lot more to say about Orochimaru.
He touches boys.
Hey,
Not supposed to be a bad thing?
I mean,
Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding.
I mean, he touches
Whoa,
girls
whoa.
too.
yeah, he doesn't discriminate based on gender.
All right, let's
Exactly.
stop.
He's a true gender equalist.
Hey,
Oh.
Hisoka is a fan favorite as well. So honestly, it really doesn't
He's
matter at this point. So,
Bungie.
all right. So we got Orochimaru number 4 for Delix. So
Wow.
Judge me.
His opinion is automatically invalid because of Kage.
Damn.
Oh man, that's interesting. So what's for TeeBry? Are you back? No, he's still with his. I think he's still with the people looking at his setup. So I'm going to do my number 4, and my number 4 is Obito. And unlike TeeBry, who doesn't like Obito, I really did enjoy Obito. Obviously, you know, you're gonna say that there are some issues here and there, but he started the war arc, and he kind of started the Akatsuki, and his entire story was just very interesting, and it's parallel to Naruto. Like, there's a lot of parallels to Naruto. We got Nagato, we got Gaara, but Obito is the epitome of a perfect parallel to Naruto being an Uchiha. But this difference is he's an Uchiha, and life just went just differently. And they both had the dream to become Hokage and stuff like that. So there's a lot of parallels between them, of course. And Obito, you know, starting out with as a not talented Uchiha to gaining a Sharingan to seeing Rin die and then losing all hope for the world and then becoming a badass villain that is very dangerous. I think he deserves at the the 4 spot in front of everybody below him. He's done a lot. He's huge. He's great. He's number 4. So, all right. So we got 4 for me for Obito, and Delix, make sure you put Orochimaru in. TeeBry, are you back yet? Still not back. We'll check in later. All right. So let's move on to our top 3, and we'll start. I'm sorry. Did someone say something?
Oh no.
No.
I'm just freaking out. I don't know what to order this.
All right. So, because Orochimaru is actually not in your top 3, Delix, who's your 3rd spot? I'm interested.
You're gonna judge me. I'm sorry.
I probably am, to be honest.
It's okay. You can't go too much further down from here.
I love Deidara so much. His abilities, his character design. I just love everything about him. Like, his character to me appealed way differently than any other characters in the Akatsuki. Just for me, like, he's my childhood favorite Akatsuki member, and I love his.
I'm back.
I just love how he's just able to just turn his clay into art, and then able to destroy the you know, like, animals and people from the inside out, and C4-3, everything about him. I just love his character in general. It still pisses me off that he lost due to Sasuke's plot armor, but I love Deidara so much. I love his character, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just love this character.
Okay, that's fair. My guy Delix has
That is
Deidara above Orochimaru. I'm just saying.
Hold up. Hold up.
Whoa.
What happened when I left?
I'm biased towards him. I'm sorry.
Well, he has Orochimaru
man.
as his number 4 spot, and then after seeing that, we had to hear his 3rd spot, and it was Deidara. So, yeah.
He's just so freaking cool. I love his abilities. I'm sorry.
Looks like I'm behind,
Yeah.
aren't I?
Yeah. TeeBry, so what is your number 4 spot?
So I got Sasori.
Yeah, I figured Sasori would be pretty high on your list.
Yeah, Sasori's my boy.
Oh, now
literally-
you understand my point of view a little bit.
No, I'm definitely not. You see Orochimaru on my list yet? Definitely not.
I meant
Sas.
Yes, go on.
Listen, Sasori. is I don't know. I think the puppet jutsu and like his way of fighting is like so ninja like compared to like a lot of the stuff that comes later on in Shippuden. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought that he was like perfect in like every way except for not being in the series. Like his fighting style is super interesting. His backstory is super sad, super well written. And his character and his personality is just really creepy. He's basically the Sand Village's Orochimaru, which I think is really cool. So,
And they both work together.
yeah. What else can I say? He's my man.
So is Datara, so you should understand me.
Yeah. Data is like 5 levels below.
Dang, I kind of feel bad putting Kabuto over Datara, but oh well.
No, I mean, I have Kabuto over Datara as well, but only one spot above, so that's not that bad. But,
I don't know.
yeah, Datara is a lot lower than Orochimaru, that's for sure. But, yeah, so we got 4 for you, so let's move on to everybody else's top 3. So, let's go from right off to you, Eddie. What's your third spot?
Can you come back to me? I am conflicted.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't blame you. So we'll move on to you, Dono. What's your third spot?
My third spot is kind of interesting. And I say that because it's a little expected, but Pain is going to be my third spot.
Whoa.
Gasp!
I feel like this 3 spot, it's not all of us is not going to have the same like the ranking for our top 3.
Order.
But
Yeah, but we all know who it is.
Yeah.
Each top 3.
But yeah. So you have Pain as the third spot. All right. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to hear some details.
Some details. All right. Well, think about your favorite fight from Naruto. Just take a second to think about it.
It took less than a second to figure it out. So.
It took less than a second, damn straight, because you know that it's already the Pain fight. If it isn't the Pain fight, it's respectable. If it's the Lee versus Gaara fight, all right.
Ooh, yes.
That's not my favorite fight.
Oh well, the door is that way. So if you
What's your favorite fight?
All right, fine.
Wait.
No, I'm kidding.
Quick hot take here. I think that the Jiraiya versus Pain fight is better than the Naruto versus Pain fight.
But is Pain still in that fight?
Correct?
Exactly. That's why he's
Oh
number
my
3.
God.
Phenomenal villain, phenomenal motivation. Amazing.
This is tough, honestly. I feel you, Eddie. This is tough, but you figured out your 3 spot and it's Orochimaru. See, let's explain. Eddie, you here?
Yeah, I just came back. I couldn't hear anything for a second.
You talked about Pain, but why do you got Orochimaru for number 3?
Alright, so Orochimaru. The thing I love about him is basically his whole entire presence in the series. And especially, I love, for like a story perspective, how he really kicked off the whole Sasuke-Naruto rivalry. Well, not necessarily kicked off the rivalry. He enhanced it, especially with the whole, promising to make him stronger and whatnot, even though he was just using him, obviously. But that really, enhanced, Naruto versus Sasuke towards the end of original Naruto and obviously the Sasuke retrieval arc. None of that would have happened without him. And that's basically it.
That's fair. Dono, I just noticed something. Did Obito not make your list?
Perhaps he did not make my list.
What?
Yeah, we're getting close to the top.
How
What?
I don't know, man. You just have to keep waiting and see.
All right.
Obito's not on mine either because when I got here, I kind of rushed my list. So.
See, Dono, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
There's like 4 characters that you don't have there.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of them aren't going to be on your list. And that's... No. Okay, wait. No, that's not true. 1 of the top characters aren't going to be on your list. And that's upsetting.
I have my reasons. But
All
yes,
right.
you are correct.
We'll definitely talk about which ones did not make everybody's list. But okay, so Dono, you just revealed, and Eddie, you revealed yours. Ko, what is your third spot?
I'm conflicted
I am as well, but I think I figured it
Uh,
out.
I am
I
not
don't know. Pick
conflicted,
someone
so
else to go.
I can
Let me go
go.
last because I gotta think more about this.
All right,
I have
TeeBry, go ahead.
Madara.
Madara 3. Okay.
Now listen, this
How
is
dare
like
you?
Madara is dope. Madara he's also my boy. In fact, most of my gamer tags and stuff on everything is Madara the Hitta. So he's up there. Okay, he's in my YouTube banner. But the thing is with Madara, I feel like he was good. His introduction was good. His whole like slaughtering the Ninja Alliance, and then the 5 Kage was good. And then like part of like the second part was good, I guess. But I feel like he was really wasted as like a villain in the end. Obviously because of you know who that I'm not going to speak of. But I feel like Madara should have been the main villain in Naruto. He should have been the final villain. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I really like what they set up. Like his like there was no better foreshadowing and build up for any character besides Madara. Like there was nothing tops that. His like they hyped him up through the whole series, and then finally when he was introduced, he did not disappoint. So definitely top 3, but just because of the way that they kind of ruined him in the end, yeah, he doesn't get any higher than that.
God damn. But okay, fair enough. Madara is great. Fair enough. I can see reasoning for Madara being number 3. Honestly, the top 3 are like a tier above everybody else, so no matter where you put them, it's like fine.
Yeah.
Oops. Wrong one.
All right. So my third spot, after really thinking about it, I'm honestly gonna put Orochimaru as my number 3, and I obviously Orochimaru is great. We've all talked about Orochimaru's greatness, how he was a great villain in original Naruto, but appreciate it. But when it comes down to it, I just find my number 2 spot much more terrifying than Orochimaru. Like Orochimaru was creepy and conniving, and his mad scientist thing was interesting, but like my number 2 spot was just so much more terrifying, and he destroyed the Leaf Village. So I feel like I just gave it away. But yeah, so Orochimaru, like he fought the third Hokage, kind of struggled a little bit to win. It seems like he was stronger, but Hiruzen was like past his prime. And Orochimaru was trying to get Sasuke's body and all that. That was cool and all, but I feel like there's just some things that just puts my number 2 above my number 3. And that's why I have Orochimaru number 3. Ko, what is your third spot?
Dang. Why I gotta go?
You're the last one.
Shoot.
That is a good reason.
Dang. Okay. Alright. Gosh, why is this so hard? Like, okay. I'm gonna say Pain.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I love Pain as a villain, but I feel like, the presentation of the anime and how they did his fight towards the end, it's like, that doesn't take away from him as a well-written villain, but it's like the presence of him, I felt like it did take away from that to an extent, but as a whole, he still is probably the best written villain in Naruto, but like, for me, from my standpoint, he's just not, I don't like him more than like my next 2 is what I'm saying. Like, he is the best written villain, but I just don't like him more than like my next 2, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel you for that.
Yeah, it was hard for me to make that decision because it's like 3 people left. But yeah.
Okay. All right, fair enough. So I already kind of revealed what my number 2 is before, so I'm gonna just talk about it real quick. So my number 2 is Pain. I feel like it's very close between Orochimaru and Pain. Even number one, they're all very close, but Pain just has a little bit more. He has the Pain speech, which is iconic. He was much more terrifying as a villain, like hands down. Like no matter who was up against him, you're terrified to fight him. And even all his subparts, even like if it's not the prime one, all the subparts were just as terrifying. It took all they had to just defeat one body until Naruto showed up, and even then, Naruto only, won because the Nine Tails went really berserk. So, it's Pain.
Isn't that every Naruto fight though?
Yes, but the Nine Tails never went as berserk as it did when they went up against Pain. So that just tells you how great Pain is. And Pain's ideology really hits home even on a philosophical level outside the Naruto universe. So he's number 2 for me for sure. But Eddie, you have your 2 already revealed. So why do you have Madara as your number 2 spot?
So I heard earlier someone said that with Orochimaru that he really wasn't that strong, and that's the reason why I put him below Madara. Because as was said, he struggled against the third Hokage who wasn't in his prime. Madara, on the other hand, fought the first Hokage for 24 hours at least, and he really wasn't tired. That in itself is a huge flex, and the build-up to Madara was basically a lot of Shippuden, and when he just was revealed, it was the greatest thing ever. I loved it.
Yeah, his reveal is definitely top tier. I can agree to that. Dono, number 2, Orochimaru. Okay.
Explain? Well, let's just say that this entirety of the show would not have happened if it weren't for Orochimaru. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, aside from the nine-tailed fox bit at the beginning. But for the majority, Orochimaru is the catalyst for Naruto. And that's why he has the number 2 spot in my eyes.
That's fair. He's definitely the big baddie in original Naruto. So what puts him above Pain though? Because these are the top 3.
Pain, you say?
What puts him above Pain?
Because it's kind of difficult because Pain is amazing. But the thing that sets him above Pain is the fact that he trained and helped my man Sasuke get to the level of which he is currently at.
That's it.
That's it.
Hey, that's all you need sometimes.
It's a small factor.
That's all you need sometimes. All right, so Delix, why don't you go ahead? What's your number 2 spot?
Madara Geo.
Okay.
Predictable.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Obviously, since his build-up was amazing, it didn't disappoint when he kicked all those ninjas' asses when he got settled to the war. What's really cool about what happened when he was first resurrected is that he just took one look at the battlefield and he immediately knew something was going on, and it didn't take him no time at all to figure out. And it was awesome how he immediately thought it was like, you know what, something's not right here. Why did I get revived in this state? I'm not supposed to be in this body. It didn't take him no time at all, and I like that about Madara. Like, he doesn't take his time worth anything. Like, he just has to take one look, and he's like, I already know what's going on. I know what's not going on. I know what's not going right. His character was awesome. His history was great. But my biggest issue with Madara is that I like how he does hold back the toys with his opponents, but at the same time, it is annoying for me because it's like I want him to have a real all-out fight, but he does it on purpose because he knows he could just kill everybody instantly if you went all out. But overall, he's still an awesome badass. The approach that he first had with the perfect Susanoo was amazing. But when Sasuke and Kakashi got it, it just didn't really feel the same hype or the same feeling when Madara first released the perfect Susanoo. But he was a character that did not disappoint, and Kishimoto built him up for so long. That's pretty much it.
Fair enough. All right, so TeeBry, what is your number 2 spot?
Orochimaru.
Okay.
You good? Anyways. Hey, Delix.
So confused.
Is that Delux?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Felix, we know you're having a stroke from not being able to put Kaguya on number 1. Okay,
lot of
but, like,
background
we need you to
noise.
pull yourself together.
Come on, bro. Chakra feet. You should be fine.
What was I saying? Oh, Orochimaru. Okay. He's perfect. What can I say? Honestly, one of my favorite villains, not only in Naruto, but just in any fictional media ever. I really love his whole concept of like everything, like they built his abilities based around a snake, so he can like shed his skin to avoid damage and stuff. I don't know. I think out of all the abilities in Naruto and all like the move sets, I think Orochimaru has one of the most interesting and unique ones. And then just his presence in part 1 was just phenomenal. Like he carried the Chunin exams with his ever-looming presence in the background. I thought it was amazing. And yeah, I really like his whole like mad scientist, like lust for power thing. Orochimaru was just hands down one of my favorite. He's probably my second favorite character in the series, not just villain.
Okay, fair enough. Orochimaru, yeah, I think Orochimaru is great. We talked about it. So, Ko, what is your number 2?
I'm really conflicted right now. Kaguya. No, I'm kidding.
That was
Kaguya's clearly number 1.
No.
clearly.
It's Madara. It's Madara. Yeah. Reason why not much I really can say other than he's a badass. I mean, like, plain and simple. His introduction was perfect. He had all this hype surrounding him, and he didn't really disappoint in any aspect except the end part of him. That's really it. Like, if you just took the end part away from him, he's still a great villain regardless of that. But yeah. He's a badass. I mean, like, you saw the way he did the 5 Kage.
Yeah, he made them look... Whew.
Like...
And he was holding back
He
the
had
whole time.
Susanoo clones. That's what got me. Like,
What style Susanoo clones?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, wood style. I was like, that's a big flex. You can't be doing people like that. That's too dirty. But yeah, Madara. He really is a badass, but yeah.
Alright, Dono, so I know you gotta go in a bit. What is your number 1? Start off with our number 1 spot.
Alright, it's time
I can't wait to hear
controversy.
There's literally 2 people that it could be, and either way, it's going to be questionable.
I hesitate to put either one of these people in the number 1 spot because in my eyes, neither one of them are villains.
Whoa, hold up.
I know.
Pause.
Controversial.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how you're gonna explain this away.
All right. I'm gonna have to go into detail for both of these two. Let's start with Obito. Obito's a little simpler. He redeems himself in the end. I mean, from the point of view of someone who's seen, the entirety of the series, I now understand where he is and what was happening in his mind and kind of the development that led him to where he ended up. And at the end, I feel like he really redeemed himself, and he deserves to no longer be called a villain because he switched sides. He was inspired by not only Naruto but multiple individuals to turn over a new leaf before his death.
Well, I don't know if that constitutes not being a...
I mean,
almost every villain in Naruto.
This is true. But then again, some people were left off of this list because of their redemption. Am I incorrect?
Yeah, Itachi and Gaara.
No, Itachi was never a villain. He was just pretending to be. That's the difference.
Even if that was probably
Gaara, yes, Gaara, that's fair.
So that's my reasoning for Obito. Madara was legitimately doing what he thought was good for the sake of humanity.
That doesn't
Right.
make you a good
He
person.
thought.
Yeah, he's just delusional.
Y'all know
That
Kira.
is true.
That one.
But coming from a perspective of him knowing that he wanted it, or he wanted the world to be kind of saved from itself in a sense.
Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't constitute villainy, more of heroism in a sense, in a weird, twisted way.
So did Pain though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
when at the end of the day, this is more of an antagonist list than a villain list. Because even, like, the sense of good versus evil, all that's kind of, like, I don't want to say subjective, but it's technically subjective. But, yeah. But we gotta have a number one. So what is this number one?
Yeah, who did
number
you
one is going to be Madara Uchiha.
Thank God!
Thank goodness.
It's just like, get out of here! What do you mean Madara's not on the list? But yeah, Obito, in my eyes, feels like he's less of a villain.
Bro, you guys said my number 10 slot for Obito.
Yeah,
I think I'm clear.
Yeah, he left
Listen.
Obito off the list.
To be fair, Obito pretends to be Madara for most series.
Yeah, because of you two, but Obito's literally bumped down all the way here. What is it? This is 6. But yeah, you already kind of explained. Anything else you want to say about why Madara is better than Orochimaru and Pain? Because that's really the competition.
Yes, Pain, it's kind of hard to say that he's better than Pain because, like I said, Pain fights were amazing, good character, good villain, etc., etc. But we kind of covered the fact that Orochimaru was kind of weak. He was kind of a sad boy when it comes to being powerful.
Can I just mention that I personally don't think that how strong a villain is reflective of how good of a character they were.
I feel like that's valid.
Of course.
But when it comes to naming off villains, if you're kind of a weaker villain, it's kind of crappy. It automatically lowers your status. In my eyes, it could be
Fair
completely
enough.
different for other people.
Yeah, I would like to jump on that. That's why I said, like, Pain and Orochimaru are very close, but Pain is just so much more terrifying because of how powerful he is. Orochimaru is just a lot more creepy, so, you know...
That's true.
He's creepier and craftier to the point at which he manipulates so many people to do his own bidding. It's fantastic. That's why he's number 2.
Yeah, that's fair. Alright, we got it. Madara is your 1 spot, and it's valid. Having Obito not on your list, I get your reasoning. I don't like it. So, yeah, that's fair enough. So, Eddie, something rhymes with Kane. So, who's this person that rhymes with Kane on your number 1 spot?
Thomas the Train. So, Thomas, Pain. So, the reason why I love Pain so much, well, there's quite a few reasons. But first off, he, in comparison to a lot of the villains before him, he causes so much havoc in the Leaf Village. And as said earlier, is like... he just did so much to disrupt, like, the way of life. And I still get shivers down my spine whenever I hear "the world shall know pain," because that line is, like, one of the greatest in all of the series. Also, it's like, the Pain fight is like...
said that.
The Pain fight is pretty much like the first real Naruto fight since the time skip, in my eyes.
Whoa. Back up.
Well, I like...
No, let's just skip over that controversial opinion. Let's just keep going.
Just skip over.
So, moving on, because I didn't say that.
Correct.
So that fight was great for 2 reasons, and the first one is, well, even before that, Jiraiya's death was such a big moment for Naruto's development, and...
Jiraiya dies? I'm just kidding.
Wait a minute. I just hear you crying in the from the distance. But I love character development. I think Pain is one of the best for Naruto's character development, which is important for a main character.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And still in dynamics, especially how with the fight he showed Naruto how impossible it was to eliminate hatred from people, which I feel like Naruto kept in the back of his mind later on. And also the Pain fight gave Naruto validation in the village that outcasted him in the first place. So that's my reasoning.
That's fair. I could see
Yeah.
that. I could definitely see that.
That's
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pain gets your number 1 spot. All right. Next, Delix.
Pain, baby.
Yeah.
What makes Pain better than Madara? Obviously, he's so much better than Orochimaru. But what makes Pain better than Madara here?
Well, what I love about Pain the most is that when he comes down to a situation, he gets down to business. He doesn't hold back. He kills if he has to. He'll get information if he has to. Madara, he toys around too much. He plays around too much. Pain delivers the heat. Like, he gives what he came for. And his viewpoint on reality and war, I love it. I love his backstory. Nagano, Konan, Yaruko, everything about how they lived and how they were orphans and their parents died. It just made it just, I don't know. To me, I feel like Kishimoto handled Pain so personally, and I don't feel like he's ever created another character like Pain, but that's just my opinion. But I just love how Pain just does not hold back with his motives, his point of view. The fact that he killed all of Hanzo's family, ground little kids, he didn't care. He wanted to erase his whole bloodline in order to make the Hidden Rain Village a completely different viewpoint of how it used to be as this village known as War. But like, ever since he stopped in, it became a better place. And it doesn't matter, even if it's said how bad he killed Jiraiya, in his point of view, he feels like if it means to change the whole world and save it, I have to sacrifice my master, no matter. Doesn't matter how I feel or what he believed in. If his step is going to lead to peace, it's what I'm going to do. And that's what he told Naruto. Your death will lead to peace, because in his eyes, he's doing what he thinks is right. You know, I can talk about Pain for hours, but that's just what I'm going to tell you so far. He's definitely number 1 for me.
Valid.
Yeah. Well said.
Well said.
Almighty push.
TeeBry, what is your number 1?
What the fuck?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Bro, I had that sitting there the whole time.
I mean,
Oh my god.
he was just waiting for the opportunity.
Yeah, what can I say that wasn't already said? Pain is a masterpiece of a character.
Yes.
Facts.
He's daddy.
Pain is probably the most diluted character when it comes to his world views. He thinks that what he's doing is like Delix said. He thinks that what he's right, and he believes in it so much that he's deluded himself into thinking that he's a god, which is insane. And he has a god complex, which I always love in a character. But yeah, I don't know what else I can say that hasn't already been said. He's just like the perfect villain in Naruto, in my opinion.
All right, gotcha. All right, Ko. I think you are the only one that has Orochimaru number 1. I'll let you explain in a second. But Madara is my number 1. Madara is the reason why I put him above Pain and Orochimaru is simply because, like, the entire story was kind of like has his shadow over, what's the best way to put it? His shadow was kind of, he was always there in Naruto as a huge threat, as a big mystery, as someone that was extremely powerful right from the beginning of Naruto all the way until he eventually shows up. And even Obito had to call himself Madara, and even just saying I'm Madara, I'm back, it put fear into everybody. So we were like waiting, like, oh, finally see Madara. Madara appears, and what does Madara do once he appears? He messes everybody up. It's not even a question. He messes everybody up. He starts off with just beating everybody hand to hand. Thousands of people beating them with just his hands. He wants to use some jutsus. He just brings 2 meteors down. Easy things. Oh, I'm going to go fight your 5...
What are you going to do about the second one, Ricky?
Exactly. And then he goes like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go fight your 5 strongest ninja, your 5 Kage real quick. Oh, I just washed them easily. It's like, the dude was ridiculous. He was terrifying. His ideals were... It made sense. You know, he lived in a world that was plagued by war right from when he was born. Even worse than what it became. And it was just bad. So he wanted to kind of change everything his way. How he went out was lame. but how everything else, other than that, was top tier. So yeah, Madara is my number one villain in Naruto.
Hey man, if Madara would have won, we would have never gotten that amazing Momoshiki fight, but I don't agree.
I mean, the Momoshiki fight was animated well, but the concept of it happening is unnecessary.
Like
Yeah.
the alien topic thing?
Yeah, I don't fuck with no aliens.
I don't fuck with no aliens.
All right. So, Ko, you do have a different number one from everybody else. Why is Orochimaru number one for you?
Whatever he says.
Oh my god!
God damn it.
Well played.
Next time.
Let
Copyright.
me explain. So, why Orochimaru? I don't know. For me, it's like kind of like how Delix feels about Data. To me, like Orochimaru's always had like a special connection. To me, like I've always drifted towards him more than any other Naruto villain. For me, I've always felt like he just has this presence that I don't think Pain or Madara had. At least me personally, like I felt like he had this fear aspect that no other villain could really capture. Like
I agree.
Pain could capture like your fear like in a more physical sense. Madara could, capture it more in a like power sense to an extent, but like I feel like with Orochimaru, he could capture it in both ways, but mainly through like his presence alone. Like his theme, the way he would just like manipulate people, how he would just be so slick about things and wouldn't really care about anybody but himself. I just feel like he was just a classic badass villain that I feel like he just had so much personality and craftsmanship to him that I feel like, even though as much as I love like Pain and Madara, I feel like Orochimaru to me was like the best villain for me at least. But
Now
yeah.
you understand why I love Data so much.
Yeah, I can respect that. I think that he's right there with the presence. Orochimaru, it was like, at least in part one, they kind of downplayed it in Shippuden.
Yeah, I
Not
mean,
unhappy
like,
with.
Shippuden, he was wasted, but like I feel
Yeah.
like I'm just talking specifically when he was like a villain in part one,
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
wouldn't really even call him a villain in Shippuden.
Yeah, and we're not going to talk about
Nobody.
what he is in Boruto.
He's something else entirely.
But yeah, Orochimaru was one of those characters that like even saying like he's similar to Madara in a way where like even at least in part one, even saying his name just kind of like was forbidden
brought
and like
chills
struck
down
fear.
spines. But I felt
Yeah.
like even more so than Madara, because like I felt like with Orochimaru, like there was just this big fear aspect that like none of the other villains for me were able to like truly grasp. Like
That first scene in the Chunin exams, he stole the face of the grass village ninja.
one of the prophets.
Yeah.
I think.
No, it was the grass, one of the grass village people, and he when Sakura and Sasuke, they couldn't move because they were so scared, and he was like peeling his fucking face back and shit. There was no other like other than Madara coming off the rock and fucking up the army was cool too, but I think that was Orochimaru was one of the best villain introductions, like the most impactful as well in the series.
Remember when Hiruzen was shitting himself when he found out was going to go so far to bring back the Minato? He shit himself. He's like, oh no, I gotta stop this.
Yeah, brings back the god of shinobi. No, not the fourth too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he only got 2 hands. He couldn't deal with 3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at the time Kishimoto had Hiruzen was supposed to be the strongest Hokage, and then the fourth was supposed to be second.
Yeah.
But he switched it up.
Yeah, Hashirama just became a total beast. But yeah, this is our top 10 Naruto villains list. Just for fun, just like what TeeBry did before, I decided to kind of look at everybody's top 10 and kind of figure out the general, like very general sense of how the top 10s would be properly ranked to determine who's the best villain. And so basically, I looked at everything, kind of calculated everything in my head. So Danzo would be 10, Hidan would be 9, Sasori would be 8, Deidara would be 7, Obito would be 6, Kabuto would be 4, Zabuza would be 3, Orochimaru.
You're off by one.
Zabuza would be 4. Orochimaru would be 3. And I think Orochimaru might have been higher. It might have been a little bit more of a debate if Delix had him not at number 4. But Orochimaru is at number 3. Madara is at number 2. And Pain, considered by us, is the best villain in all of Naruto.
I'm fine with that.
Out.
Personally, he's one of my favorite.
I respect that list.
All in Shonen.
But
I didn't put Obito or Kage in because like I said, I came in rushing, so I kind of just didn't have time to plan ahead. But Obito was cool and everything. But I feel like he was cool in playing Mark and actually being himself, because I feel like when he was being himself, he kind of just turned a little bit.
Right. I was more interested in Obito and then when he wasn't Madara, I was okay.
It got weird.
So you just gonna cry then?
Now then, Kaguya, I'll tell you, man, she's hot. She makes good hentai, but her introduction was trash.
I mean, we have a lot to say about Kaguya. That's why she technically just got 10 just cause for me and Dono for the butt. Zoid had her number 9. That's a huge shock. But yeah. Yeah. So
okay, let's do best board. Let's do best Boruto villains. How about that?
Hard pass.
What about the guy who eats bird shit? He's a great villain in Boruto.
The best Boruto villain is the guy who wrote Boruto.
They have Boruto villains?
Bro, you make me not want to read Boruto when I hear all this stuff.
No, hold on.
Boruto's manga is actually decent.
Yeah. Read the manga.
Here forever.
Read the manga. Don't watch the anime.
The
Don't
power
watch
scaling is terrible in Boruto manga.
The story's good though.
It's nowhere near Naruto level, but it's readable. Like, it's not bad. Like,
I agree. It's pretty good. It's the anime. That's the problem.
But it's not original. Repeating everything we've been through.
Maybe
I'm still waiting for the third
Isn't that like
iteration
all of Shonen
of
anyways?
Boruto's son.
Joruto with the ulti gun.
Joruto Uzumaki.
wait, you guys know Boruto's dad got an anime?
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
It's probably trash. I'm not watching it.
Sarada's father in it too?
Yeah, it probably sucks anyways. Naruto's whack.
Naruto.
Oh, that's his name?
I think so.
I thought his name was Naruto.
Naruto.
Oh,
That's how my mom pronounces it.
Hey,
That's how everyone who doesn't watch anime pronounces it. Naruto.
Dono, have you watched Naruto today? It was
Bro,
so
I
good.
watch Naruto all the
I
time.
broke up with one of my ex-girlfriends because she said Naruto.
Pronounce Sasuke's name Sasuke.
Sasuke?
Sasuke?
Daisuke.
Alright, so
Kakashi?
let's end it now. Yeah, this was fun. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Of course, all their links will be in the description below. So, of course, check out all their content. They make bangers. And I'm not just saying that just because I know them. I'm saying that because I believe it, people. Now, this has been fun. Definitely check out the podcast, the different podcast platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and whatnot. So, this has been Kickback Anime Discussions. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.
Oh god.
Gator's better than Pain.
Oh, what?
Hentai?
Somebody ban him, please.
Guys,
I didn't
I'm gonna leave. Peace.
Alright, gentlemen, it was
Bye-bye.
fun.